Hello, everyone. This is Lady Mystic from A Mystical Journey. And here we are again in our little forest, and things are coming along. Uh, the other day, I finished off the fire pit and got rid of all the overgrowth there. Today, Lights Away and I are going to work on some of the shrubbery. And so I am armed with my scissors and gloves. So, yes, we're getting very technical. Um, so come and join us. Hang out for a little while.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to come back in this section here because this is just a hornet's nest.
See if I can get my mic to work. Excellent. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. How's everybody doing out there in the internet world?
YouTube land.
I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you are enjoying your spiritual journey. I know it's not always easy, but we are here to let you know you're not alone. Everybody's going through something, that's for sure. Life would be pretty dull if everything was always perfect. So you take the good with the bad, and hopefully there's more good than bad.
Well, that's what we aim for sure.
But if things are tough and you can't find any relief, then come and do something like this. Come out into nature, work on making a place more beautiful, especially if it's your own habitat, because then you can really just enjoy.
One of the reasons why we're fixing up our back habitat.
So if anybody has an amazing garden that you'd like to share, we'd love inspiration. So please post some pictures down below. Let us take a look.
Oh, yes, and don't forget the disclaimer. We are not professional landscapers. Therefore, you're not going to see a huge, big changeover where we have a swimming pool back here or anything. We just decided to do this for our landlord. Him and his mother aren't really able to do the lawn work, and we really wanted to enjoy our space. So we decided to do it as a gift to them.
And they're not often out here, so this is really our space.
It
for the
really
most
is
part.
our space.
So we get to enjoy it, and we get to sneak off back into the little secret place, which technically doesn't belong to this yard, but we're allowed to use it, so it's all good. So yeah, just having a place to breathe, a place to just unwind, like a sacred place. So we're going to post about a little bit about secret places in a while, but secret and sacred places, because they're really important. And it doesn't matter. It could literally be like a tiny closet in your hallway. Anywhere where you can just chill. What do you think, Lady Mystic? Do you think it's something that, we kind of need?
Need?
A sacred place. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Whether it's a corner somewhere or, a closet. I know it's not very inspiring, but it's a way to, especially parents, because I can understand that it's very difficult when you got little ones.
Yeah.
And they always want to be with you. I have puppies. I know that's bad enough. You can barely go pee by yourself anymore. But yeah, sometimes you just need to quiet your mind for a little bit. And so if you get the opportunity, especially, it's so wonderful if you can have a loving spouse who can see that and be like, hey, go take a half an hour,
And if you don't have a loving spouse that does that, maybe reflect on that one a little bit.
Yeah. We were raised by a single mother, and we know how hard that is.
Oh my goodness.
It's very difficult. It's difficult for the children as well. There's a loss by not growing with your father, but sometimes it's better that way.
Exactly. I have a lot of respect for single moms out there. It is just so tough. And single dads.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's be fair. I've bumped into actually a lot of dads that have, taken custody of their children and raising them and being a single dad, either through, divorce or, heaven forbid, through a death, right?
Yeah. Well, and I was also a full-time step-parent for about 5 years. And so being a step-parent is something totally different. Because you're not the parent necessarily. It's tough. I really commend any people who get involved in the rearing of children, even if that means an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent.
Absolutely.
Because it takes a village. It really does. We were fortunate enough to be able to spend time with our younger cousins and watch them grow and help them through, growing up. And they've turned into these incredibly wonderful women. And I couldn't be more proud of them.
Absolutely.
They have beautiful families and wonderful husbands. And both of us recognize that they needed the influence. They needed someone to believe in them and someone to sort of help guide them.
Exactly. I mean, it's all they're doing, but you need that inspiration. You need to know that someone actually sees it too, especially as young as they were at the time.
Yeah. And being a step parent, same thing. You're involved in their life and you begin to see, for me, it was really interesting to see my own personality come out in them. Even though they weren't my children, because they lived with me full time, it was like they started to take on some of my things that I'd say, or, the way that I would do certain things. It was pretty amazing. And it was like, being a parent must be quite incredible.
Yeah, for sure. For those of you that don't know us personally, neither one of us have had our own children. But we both love and adore kids. So, just one of those things. I guess we had a different purpose coming in. And
you never know what life has in store for you.
Well, and there's many ways to be a parent, as you've already discussed.
Exactly.
Just because you didn't rear a child doesn't mean that you didn't have the responsibility of raising one.
Or the influence over one.
Or the influence over one.
Huge responsibility in being an influence on a child.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're not a good influence.
Yeah.
And really, are we ever always a great influence?
Oh,
no.
Well.
Everybody gets mad. Everybody loses their patience.
Sure. That's pretty normal.
Yeah. But if it's a everyday occurrence, well, that's something else. But it's hard. So I am fully in supportive of our wonderful and amazing parents who are members of our group. Thank you for taking your precious time to spend with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably 3 a.m. in the morning and they're sneaking a little bit of downtime while the kids are asleep. But so we appreciate you even more.
So, what do you guys think? How's it coming along? Give us your comments, give us your thoughts, give us your posts. Give us a thumbs up or give us a angry face if you think we're doing something terrible to the yard.
Yeah. Tell us all the things that we're doing wrong, because we definitely know there's lots of that. So any of you haters out there, this is your prime opportunity.
Oh, nice. I don't know if we want to offer that up.
Encourage the haters, right? Come on, bring it on.
I'm going to leave some of the ground weeds because they're pretty. It's better than just a big pile of dirt.
Yeah, for sure.
I personally like gardening for food. Like, I love growing food. I think it's just such a cool thing to be a part of, to see that progression. And it's also, you know, you're growing food, which is a good thing. But yeah, I just love the whole process of, like, wow, is that what, you know, corn looks like? Or is that what, you know, being a city girl, we never really got to, well, we did grow some things, but most of the time we didn't have a garden. So, but my mother was a green thumb.
Oh, yeah,
She
for sure.
could grow anything. It was amazing. When it came to plants, she was just, and animals, she just had a way. Okay.
That's why I didn't own any plants when Mom was around, because she was like the mother that comes over and complains about you're not keeping your house clean enough. It was not caring for my plants enough. Have you been talking to them? You know, that's very important. And then she'd spend 45 minutes with the plants.
And then go home.
And then go home, yeah.
You're like, oh, it was nice to see you. Nah.
And if you had a sickly plant,
Oh, she'd just take it home.
yeah.
And you wouldn't get it back either.
Yeah, you'd...
She'd be like, you think I'm going to give this poor soul back to you after what you tried to do to it?
Exactly.
Like, I didn't try. It just happened. So the landlord's father, the lady upstairs, her husband, is of late passed away several years ago. He used to take care of this garden. And since he's been passed away, they've been trying, but it's difficult, and she's getting older, and it's harder for her as well. So it's a chance for me and Mystic to get closer to the earth. I kind of wish I didn't have to wear gloves, but
yeah.
kind of do. It has been
Safety first.
very, very hot where we are. Ouch. I mean, not like Africa hot, but it's been humid. So humid is like where we're from. It's very hot and wet. The air is very moist. So you just kind of feel like you're wet all the time. It's kind of ugly. Sounds, maybe that wasn't quite the way I meant it to come out. Yeah, you just
We're
feel
in a
like you're
rainforest.
sweaty.
If those of you that know what a rainforest is, we live in a rainforest.
We live in a rainforest. So granted, a lot of our forests have gotten torn down. But that doesn't mean that the earth doesn't still think there's a forest here. So, but it's quite beautiful. Right now, unfortunately, with the heat, a lot of our forests are in jeopardy from fire.
Oh, forest fires.
So there's a lot of forest fires right now in our province where we're from. And we have so many brave people who volunteer to fight the fires and to protect people's homes and such. And right now, not very far from here and up where I used to live, they're having fires, and people are getting taken from their home, like evacuated from their homes. And it's made the air here awful. Like, we usually have beautiful blue skies. Right now, the skies are all smoky. You can't even really, there's like really not a lot of color. It's a bit better today. Yesterday was terrible.
Yeah, if you see a bit of a haze on the video, it's actually just smoke film.
You know, so, but that's what happens. You know, it's part of
well,
nature.
And some forest fires are natural. I mean, it's the earth replenishing itself, and new growth comes from those burnt ashes. But when we're getting, you know, what, 800 fires or something like that, 500
there's a lot
fires in a season, it's
a lot.
It's just heartbreaking, really.
It is. But we live in such a beautiful place. We really do. We're very, very blessed to have been born here. It's very expensive. You have to be very rich, and we're not.
And we live in the burbs. We don't even live in the big city. So
yeah, we were born in the big city.
Yes.
But we didn't really. It's like, well, basically, to buy a small, say, one-bedroom apartment in the downtown main city, you'd be looking at about $1 million if you could find one. And that's like not even probably realistic anymore. It's probably more than that. So yeah, it's very, very expensive to live here. But it's certainly beautiful. But you know, there's many places in Canada that's beautiful. It just so happens our area is very moderate temperature mostly compared to other parts in the north. So a lot of people are drawn to this area. Okay.
I'm curious if anyone out there has ever been to Canada, for one, and more specifically, British Columbia, which is where we are right now.
I do believe we have quite a few Canadians as well.
Yeah.
So let us know if any of you are from BC, and if not, where you're from. See if we've ever been to your neck of the woods. I have family in Eastern Canada, my father's side, and they live in Ontario, New Brunswick, I think a few maybe even in Quebec. I haven't been to visit them, but I have been to Montreal and Toronto, Niagara, a few other beautiful spots in Canada. What about you, Mary? How much traveling in Canada have you done?
Not much, actually. I've been to Toronto, Ontario, Alberta, Calgary, and Edmonton.
Yep. Banff. Have you been to Banff yet?
I have been to Banff.
Jasper.
And
well, through the Rocky Mountains.
Drove through Jasper.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so many beautiful spots.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful place to come.
In BC, let alone the rest of Canada.
Mm-hmm. So the Rocky Mountains. So in Canada and the United States, we have a mountain range called the Rocky Mountains. And I grew up here. I'd never seen them, heard about them, saw pictures. And then one year I decided to drive from Banff through Jasper, which is right in the Rocky Mountains. And I remember the first time driving up towards the Rocky Mountains, and it was like a wall of rock. I had never seen anything so huge in my life. And I was like, okay, I get why they call them the Rocky Mountains. But they're absolutely beautiful and amazing. And I know that there's people in the world who also have beautiful mountain ranges. I know Mary, Mystic, has been able to go into was it the Himalayan mountain? No.
Yeah, the Himalayas. In India.
Yeah.
And that was amazing too. I mean, they're so high.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, that twist back. They call it Rotan Pass. The road we took to get up to the top, and oh my gosh, what a twisty, windy little, pretty much a one lane road for most of it. And there's no blocks or anything. Nuh-uh. They live dangerously there. It's like pure sheer cliff.
Yeah, like I hope the driver knows what he's doing. So let us know if you could recommend a cool mountain pass in your country or someplace that you've been that you think would be worth exploring. Whoa. Okay, come on. Let's get you out of there. Oops. And this one. There we go.
Okay.
How's it going there?
Well, it's coming and continues to come. But I'm holding my own. I'm not letting it get the better of me.
Excellent.
I'm enjoying the
important.
process, as they say.
Oh, look. This one's got some kind of weird blossom. Oh, that's weeds.
What's that?
It's got like a blossom. Like purple beads.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and the seeds inside. So I guess if we want more of these. Let me think about that.
What do you guys think? Do you think we should have
Maybe
more?
I'll just put this in the bonfire.
Sure, maybe a beanstalk will grow.
I'll go up and get the treasure. Okay, weed. As you can see, this stuff just gets everywhere. Edible.
What was that?
I said that weeds get everywhere. They're evil.
Oh, yes. They do indeed.
Okay. Looks like the grass
For those of you
is
that
taking us
are
over.
enjoying our funny little antics and all, don't forget to give us a little thumbs up and subscribe. We don't just work on gardens. We have other material and stuff that's going to be coming up soon. We just thought this would be kind of a fun project. We could have been wrong about that.
Yeah, this won't take very long.
Always looks like such a small job
Just
before
go
you
to the back
start.
and pull a few weeds and it'll be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's grown from our initial thoughts to like, oh my God, how are we ever going to get through all of this? But I think it's coming along pretty good.
Well, I think I'm going to end up going a little bit deeper into the forest.
Ooh.
So what do you say we let these wonderful souls go about and enjoy the rest of their night?
Sounds good.
And we will catch up with you next time.
Bye.
Let's figure out what I did.